Hello, dear ones, and welcome to my podcast. So, last time I had told you that I'm going to tell you a magical experience that I had in the nature. It was in the nature, right? So, what happened is that I had gone out with my friend to walk in the woods. Like every weekend, I just like to take my time and just explore new regions. Whenever I get the time, actually, I just feel like just going and just enjoying the nature. And luckily I have a lot of nature around my place, so it feels really very refreshing to explore the greens. And this is how I had planned once, and then we just went. And this time, however, we went a bit further, and it was an afternoon, I remember, a Sunday afternoon, and me with a friend of mine, we went into these, this special place. For me, it was special because, well, for others, I don't know, but for me, it became special afterwards. At that time, we were just driving by. It's about 45 minutes drive from my place. Now that I go often whenever I can, of course during the lockdown, no. So I had gone there, and we were just going through these. First, we went through this lush green woods and all, and it was really nice to look at all the trees and all. And then after, as we went further deeper into this part of the woods, we were driving by because there was this road, and I can tell you the name is Saint Georges de Neuilly. Okay, Neuilly. Excuse me, the French names are a bit difficult. So it is called Saint Georges de Neuilly, and this is where we were heading towards. This is a small town, okay, a very beautiful village. If you people happen to visit France, please do visit this village. It's a very beautiful village. I mean, there are not many houses there, but it's special. It's very beautiful. I would like to tell you that. Of course, there are many other places also that I'm going to tell you later in my other podcast with some magical properties. So, well, coming back to our subject, when we were driving by, at one point of time, I was just looking at the trees, and suddenly I started feeling strange in my body, as if some kind of roots entering, like through my feet and all. And I started feeling as if something was taking place in my body, some kind of energy was moving. I started feeling like a tree myself. In fact, I have to tell you that it was really a strange feeling, it was. And I asked my friend, do you feel it? And he said, what? And I said, there is something strange here, strange happening here. And he said, what is happening? So he just, stopped over there. So he said, are you fine and all? I said, no, I'm feeling strange. And he's like, what is happening? Like, what do you feel exactly? Tell me, He's a psychologist, so he always has to ask a lot of questions to me before he comes to his conclusions. And I'm quite a specimen. So for him, I'm his case study, so to say. So I was explaining to him, I don't know, while we were driving by, I was looking at the trees, and suddenly I start feeling as if, some kind of, like, as if there are some kind of roots that are like entering from my feet, and I'm feeling it all over my body, I said. And it's feeling strange, I said, like right in my lungs. I feel as if I can see my own blood vessels and my whole body in a kind of a blood vessel, and the capillaries and veins and arteries, and I'm seeing all those kind of things. I said, I don't know what's happening. I said, but I said, I'm not scared, but there is something strange happening here. So I said, why don't you also look at the trees and please try to focus and please let me know. And so he said, it's better we get out. I said, in the car I'm feeling like this. I don't know what am I going to feel outside when I come out of the car. I don't know how I'm going to feel. So we both get out, and then we start walking. I'm looking at the road because I don't want to look at the trees, but still. And he's looking at them, and he says, come, let's go. let's explore, he said. So I said, okay, fine, let's go. So we are going. And at that time, I just raised my eyes, and I was looking at the tree. And at that time, I started feeling the tree. I actually started feeling the emotions of the trees around me. Like, the trees were telling me things. I could hear them telling me things inside of me. I was feeling everything that the trees were feeling, actually. And I said, this is something special happening here. He wasn't feeling, he said, yeah, it's a strange energy, he felt. But he said, yeah, there is some kind of magnetic energy. And I said, exactly, there is some kind of magnetic energy, but do you feel something more? I said, you know what, do something, just touch the ground and feel. And then he was touching the ground and he said, I'm feeling relaxed. I said, yeah, you're grounding, that's a different thing. But now you look at the trees. What is this tree trying to tell you? I said. So he looked at me like, something is going wrong with you. But I said, no, see the tree and try to tell me, okay, hug the tree, I said, and try to feel, is there something that the tree is trying to tell you? He said, no, I'm feeling really nice over here. The energy is very beautiful, and yes, there is a strange kind of magnetic energy. He said, this is what I feel. And I said, yes, there is a magnetic energy, but don't you feel what I am feeling? Don't you hear what I am hearing? And he shrugged his shoulders and was like, no, I don't feel what, you are feeling. And at that time, actually, when I was looking at the trees, I saw some of the trees were very sad. I literally saw a mother tree and a child tree. She showed me her child tree. I didn't even know that this is her child. Actually, the mother tree is communicating that this is my child tree. I'm nourishing that child tree. But that child tree of hers was further. It was quite further. And the mother tree is telling me that I am nourishing my child tree who is over there. But I was not getting anything. And I'm like, you are here, nourishment is going over there, how is it going? And like, I look down and I feel the energy is traveling through this earth, and it is traveling to that particular little tree which is growing up there. And then we started going further and further there, and then I started looking at the trees, and there was like, some trees were like, don't come close to us, don't come close to us. It was something like that. Their energy was repelling me, like they didn't want us to disturb them. Don't come close. I told my friend, hey, don't go there, don't touch the tree. So, oh, no, I said, don't go. Yeah, because this tree is actually repelling us, is saying, don't touch us. And fair enough, because still he has this habit of going and doing things that are told, like whatever is not allowed, he will like to do it. So when I said don't go, first thing he did is he went and he touched that tree, and afterwards he started scratching his skin and all that. So he said, oh, I think I got some allergy to it. I said, no, it was not an allergy. I told you before, the tree was not wanting us to go and touch that tree. They didn't want us over there. And then, okay, fine. And then let's go back to the car now. I need to wash my hands. I said, now you wait. Yeah, you've had your punishment now because you didn't listen to me. I told you something. Then we are going further and further. And there, actually, I was feeling how much, just like us, how they are friends to each other, how they were all communicating with each other. It was wonderful to see. And when they look at us, I mean, I have to tell you this, when the trees look at us, there is a conversation between them who are close together, they converse with each other. We feel, this is a tree, this is immovable. Yes, it is living, but it is immovable. It doesn't have any emotions. But my dear ones, I felt those emotions, and I have to tell you, they have emotions. They have tremendous emotions. They are intelligent, I would like to tell you that. And they were actually communicating with each other about us who were over there. They were telling each other, look, they are here. And then there is another tree who is like, can we shed something upon them so that they don't stay here? And the other There is one mother tree, I would like to tell you. In them, there was one mother tree who was giving all the directions or orders to the other trees, who was like telling the other ones, no, don't do like that, it's okay, they are not harmful, you know. And I started feeling all this, and inside my body, uh, everything was like as if that tree soul had entered me. I actually was feeling like this. It was so magical, that feeling was, you know. And I said, let's do something over here, you know. And there was a kind of a small plant over there, okay. So I just said, hey, and I started speaking to that little baby plant, you know. And then my friend started laughing. He said, you've really lost your pebbles. I said, whatever you call me, I'm going to speak to this plant. And since then, I've developed this habit of speaking with plants and trees. I do speak with animals, of course. I do speak. I feel them also a lot also. And I started speaking to this baby plant, and I was like, how are you, you know. And hey baby little plant, how are you. And I was just, you know, moving my hand, and it started to move. It started to move as if he's, you know. I said, you're dancing, it's okay, I'm going to dance with you. And I started doing that, and he started to move, or she started to move there, you know. And it was magical to see that how the plants were responding completely. And still my body was just feeling all those energies, you know, that were like yeah, like the roots, you know, all over. I mean, all my whole body was as if it had become a tree. I felt almost like that, like inside of me, like how the capillaries and everything was like. And a strange kind of feeling in my lungs I was started to get. In my lungs, you know, something was deblocking or unblocking, which we say. Something was like really opening up, and you know, I was just feeling like something was like moving, and it was so relaxing, it was so beautiful, you know. I can't explain it, but it was just that. It was like a meeting with a family, I would like to tell you like that. But a very strange meeting, because when you feel something in your body like that, you know, like the movement and sudden kind of, you know, feelings of something's moving inside of you, and then you start looking at the trees and say, wow, they are communicating, they have emotions, they are crying, they are laughing, they are singing, they are in love, or they are taking care of their child, or they are threatening you also. So all these things I noticed in that forest of Saint Georges de Noyer. And it was really like I spent about 30 minutes over there in that forest, just looking at things. Some of the trees I touched, some I didn't touch because I didn't win. And I said, wow, what a feeling. And then we said to come back. Till then my friend had scratched his hands a lot. So voila, we had to, you know, he had to wash his hands. So he just took a bit of soil and, you know, rubbed it first of all, and then he cleaned his hands and all. And afterwards, while we were returning, at one point again, I start looking around, and since then, I can say, since then, I could feel the soul of the trees. When we were going to another town also, another city also, I would just look on the road, you know, on the roadside trees, and they were so miserable. They were they were sad, as if they were telling me, you know, at that time, like they were half on the road like that, you know, like bending a bit like that. They were looking green and all. They were nice. I mean, anybody would say, you know, anybody would look and say, wow, it's a beautiful tree or things like that. But I saw that this tree was so miserable. It was looking, it was, there were so many trees which were on the roadside which were looking very sad, and they were not liking something over there. And I couldn't stop because it was almost on the highway, you know, so you cannot stop on the highway. And I couldn't stop to really understand. But as we were going, you know, the quick glimpses that I was taking of those trees, they were conveying me things, they were telling me things. And since then, it hasn't stopped. Whenever I go for a walk also now, be it in the woods or, you know, even in the neighborhood, and if I just take some time, I just stop and I just look at those trees, and I just smile, say, how are you, you know, like, Passers-by must be saying she's gone crazy. I don't mind. Well, I don't know what's normal. Is it that you don't speak to the living things, or is it just, I don't know. I leave it to you. But I would just speak to the trees. Even today, I speak to all my trees over here. These are all my babies over here, and over there, and over there, and over there, and outside also. Lot and lot of babies I have. So I was really like, I wanted to tell you is like that time, because before I was not that, sensitive to those energies of the trees. But since I went there, actually something happened. I cannot explain to you what has happened that day, but there was some special energy over there. And maybe me being a bit hypersensitive to energies, this energy helped me to open a door inside of me that was closed, to perceive them more, to feel them more, to understand them more. That's what I felt at that time. And then after, whenever I go there, but this is a very, very special place. So if you are in France, if you're living anywhere in France, I would almost suggest, once you go to those woods, they're very simple things. It's really like you are just, driving on the road, and they are not even a place to walk, you see. It's just that you take a pit stop, you stop there, and you explore that region. So this is what, and for me, as we were going from there, started feeling that strange kind of contraction things in my body, and then suddenly something like, wow, flowing everywhere, and seeing all that diagram of things inside of me. That was really, really very, very impressive, I would say. And whenever I go now also, whenever I get the time, it gives me the same feeling, very strange. And last time when I had gone, those people, they had cut down some trees there for the wood, and however, when I went over there, I could see that some of those trees which were still left over there, they were really feeling sad. They were like, what are you doing? Something like they were pouring their heart out. Some of the trees do cry also. You should see how they cry. I mean, I don't know how can if you're sensitive like that, please do see, because they do cry, they do laugh, they sing also. Do you know that they sing? They sing. They will make those strange sounds with the rustle of their leaves. When they find someone who they like, they will sing also. They move. They kind of how can I say? Yeah, they create the rustling, and not just one. They give the signal to others, and they will all do that. Well, some of them are just standing like stoically like that, like, oh, we don't bother about the humans, But the others are like happy, when they see you, and if you're good to them, of course, then they will do that. And if you're bad to them, they will also secrete a kind of a dirty smell also. Sometimes they do that kind of odor, which is very how do you say, yeah, not very pleasant, so you feel like running away from that place also. So they will secrete some kind of odors from their bark, or or they'll, or something, some kind of small powder like thing also I've seen falling upon us. That is not really very, it doesn't feel very good on your skin. So or it will fall on your clothes, and if you try to remove it, it will create a lot of color on it and spoil your clothes also. So they take a revenge also like this, remember that. And they're wonderful. They are my best friends, and whenever I go there, and I will just like speak to them as if they were my family. And that was my turning point actually, for that perception of the trees and their emotions. And now I also know that in my house also, when I have some plant which is just like that, a bit falling, and I was like, oh, you're affected by the energies. So I just touch it like a baby, and I speak to this little plant. I play some music for the plant, and Like I remember once I had this rose plant for my birthday, and I don't know, it was not flowering at all, and I started speaking to it, and I was like, you don't feel good at my place. You feel a bit homesick here. You would like to be outside, and I would really touch it and speak to it, and sing a song also for it, and at night say good night also to it. All these kind of things I have done, and you will not believe that it has started to flower. You can see over here there are like 3 4 roses which are blooming now. So yes, they are like us. I wanted to tell you, they are like us. They have all the emotions like us. They are very strong, very very strong, and they also said that they have also they also how can I put it, they give house to some souls also. All right, so how can I say it? It's a bit difficult for me to explain. Well, I will explain to you. uh, like they said to me, is like there were some human souls also who wanted to live on them, who were moving around and who had made some of those trees their house, and said that they didn't like that. They were not liking that. They were saying they have to go now, but they are living here. So I was finding that a bit strange, and this is why, I don't know if you have noticed or not, but if you go into some woods, you will feel a very creepy feeling. You will feel, oh, a bit scared, or just out of nothing you might feel like that, because there are some souls who are living over there. And this is what I got this message from them. It's like they told me that there are some souls over here which are living over here, and some of them were underneath them also. Some bodies were underneath of some of them, and these were growing up, but they said that some of the souls were not leaving them, and they were like, they should go, they should go. It was their message. And I found this very magical, not just magical, but I found this experience very very spiritual. And not just the trees also, with my pets also, with anybody's pets, actually any kind of animal. I communicate not with words, but I look at them and they look at me, and we speak in silence. We communicate just with the eyes and the vibrations. We communicate. And I will tell you something, my little kitten Jupiter, he's not a little kitten now, he's my teenager. I'm a mom of a teenager now, okay? Jupiter, he is his name. And I told my husband, is that, did you notice something in Jupiter? He has a power, and I don't know how many of you have noticed with your own cats and dogs and your pets, actually, I would say, that they have a very strong intuition, not just intuition, but telepathy. They have tremendous telepathy. Do you know that they communicate with their friends around just with telepathy? And this is what I saw in my little Jupiter, my teenager, that I saw that he used to be sleeping on the couch there, and suddenly he would go to the door and he would want me to open the door for him. And I was noticing that, and I would see his little friend coming on the gate, and not just once but many a times. And I said, he is here inside, everything is closed, he doesn't see anything on the gate from here, okay, he doesn't see the street from here. And this is where I realized that this little fellow was actually telepathically, they were communicating, both of them, with each other. So they have tremendous telepathy. And I was having before Jupiter, I also had 2 more cats, 2 more pet cats who passed away, of course. That is a very sad story. And because of negative energies actually sent upon me, that they absorbed, and they gave their life for me, I would say. Yes. And these two little ones, very, very loving, very loving. They were my children, of course. And these two little cats, I used to see that sometimes, they would just go, cats, they go for some time, they just want their liberty, you cannot cage them, nothing. They are royals, so they like it, yeah. Leo sign, they are like that, And sometimes I was noticing is that once it happened, my other cat Ninja, he went away, and it was like 4 days he was not back, and I was like, why isn't he coming back, why isn't he coming back, and I was really like, it was a bit disturbing me inside. So I have those boji balls at home. If you don't know, these are very good for meditation and grounding, but I use them for connecting with animals, okay, with pets. And I took both in my hands, and I said, okay, now I'm going to meditate on this. I'm going to see where is he. I'm going to try to locate him. I was nicely seeing him. He was in a far off field. This is what I saw. And then I just said, Ninja, Mummy is waiting for you. You need to come back. You have to come back. I'm going to take my nap. And before I open my eyes, after that, you have to come. That before I open my eyes from the nap, you have to be mewing at my door. I am telling you, Mummy is missing you. You better come back. It's long. You don't have to stay for that long away. Yeah, and I just was in that deep, deep connection, sending him a telepathic signal there with my meditation and with these pochi balls in my hands. I was actually connecting to the earth's energy with those boji balls. I will make a video on that also. It's wonderful also. So I was connecting to him, and you would not believe, after that meditation, I prayed. I put the boji balls on the side, and I went for my little nap. And after half an hour, before I woke up, I hear somebody mewing at the door, and that was my little ninja who was back saying, Mama, I am here. So that was really wow. He was there. So we could sense each other. And I feel not just me, but we all have that energy. We all have the power to communicate with animals, with the trees, with the entire nature. But are we really being sensitive? What happens is that many a times our ego and our mental, which is more complex than anything else, tries to come in between, sensing something. Okay, if I'm feeling something, the other person says, well, I don't feel anything. Yes, you don't feel anything, but why don't you feel anything? Because you're trying to make it more intellectual, you're trying to make everything mental. And when you try to make everything mental, what happens is that half of your powers are gone, half of your connection is lost over here. Of course, everything needs logical explanation and intellectualizing things and all. We are living in that world, but things are very simple. Things are extremely simple. Everything is inside of us. That power to feel the everything is inside of us. I mean, look at me. I was not feeling those trees and all. Just that day I went, and just this breakthrough took place inside of me, and since then it just became so easy to understand the energies of the plants, to understand what they are trying to speak to each other. What are they trying to tell us? Are we listening to it? You know what? We can just get the messages if we have the time, and if we keep our extra complex mind aside and just be quiet, be in that moment, be in that moment, and just feel that. Feel it. Look at your pet, look at his eyes, and feel his emotions. He's trying to convey a lot. Many a times for me, I used to also get some clients, who used to come with the picture of their pet who was not fine, who was not well, and they would ask me, "What is happening? Can you please tell us?" And I would look and I would see, there was so, I mean, it was so clear to me just to see and to understand them. That energy was flowing, through them to me, telling me. I mean, you must have heard that there are many people who are doing who speak to the animals, who understand the animal language and all. But I would like to tell you, each of us can have that. Each of us can have that. For me, I was also a completely complex, scientific, and extremely intellectualizing brain before, until all this happened to me. That I went through lots, and because of that, all this happened to me. And because of that, a kind of, how do you say, it was like an opening, for me, to an entirely new world. And then I told myself is that God has made us in God's image. So what does that mean? Like God we were made. So what does that mean? That all those powers that God had are somewhere inside of us, and they are waiting to be awakened. So are we paying heed to that? Are we paying heed to that? Just ask yourself that, you know. God is inside of you. Even if we go to a lot of worship places, of course, these are because of energies, right? They are powerful in energies and all. That's altogether another subject. But when God is inside of us, means the power and the energy of God is inside of us. And how many of us are neglecting all those signs that keep coming to us? How many of us are not ready to give up, ready to peel those, how can I say, those extra layers of mental complicated thinking? This might not be like this and that might not be like that. Just be and just observe and just feel this beauty that is coming through those trees, that is coming through our pets, those animals everywhere in the world. When I see pictures also of animals, some of the animals, you see so much they are suffering, so much they are suffering also. So all this I want to share with you because I feel that each of us has that power. And that magical experience that I got here, maybe you might find it in the places when you're exploring one of your nearby places, nearby, where there are a lot of trees and that kind of a forest or a jungle or the woods. When you're just walking, just look at them, just give them a glance and just see. Try to speak to them also, the smaller ones. They like it so much. They're like babies, they like it. They really, really love it. I have to tell you that. So I wanted to share all this. I mean, I would go on and on with these experiences because I've had so many experiences with plants, with animals also. It has been tremendous, And you would say that it must be a bit difficult to feel all them. But I would like to tell you the most difficult is to feel human beings. Rather feeling their energies because they're very, very complicated. Very complicated. But when I speak to the trees and when I speak to the animals, oh, it's just like, wow, I'm getting enriched actually. And I feel we all will get enriched because you know what? There is a power of innocence which is very strong in all the animals and all the plants and all the trees. This is the power of innocence because they are connected so much to the source, to the mother earth and to the ether, the sky, the akash tattva. Yeah, they're so much connected to it and they are so much one with the divine energy, is that I feel it's really not difficult to communicate with them. It's really not difficult to feel with them and to exchange them with them. And every time I have been in the company of this big tree family, I feel I just got very good vibrations from them. And when I came back, I was like another person, very happy, as if like it was my battery was charged, and it really, really, really felt so good. So I would like you to try once, just even your indoor plants and all, if you have, just try to see, to feel them. And, you can also, just touch them sometimes or just put your hands above them, and speak to them lovingly, so that through your hands, the loving energy is, just flowing. I don't know, just put your hands like this. Let's see if you feel it. You let me know in your comments, how do you feel, okay? And just send this happiness, this wonderful vibe upon your plants and all, and just speak to them with a lot of love, because this is the energy of love that you will give to everyone. So all your plants and even your pets, they need that. Especially the pets, they need to be caressed, and really like from especially from the head to the neck. Not for the cats, they don't like it, because they will feel dominated otherwise, that you're dominating. A cat doesn't like it. But for the dog, you will do that. Even for the cow, on the neck, when you do that, she likes it, because cow is what it is Shri Krishna, it is the Vishuddhi chakra. So this is why she likes it on the neck. That is one of the explanations. Yeah. So this kind of, if you touch them and if you feel them and give them your energies, you will feel that love that they are giving back to you. And all your plants also in the house, or the trees that you are going out and making friends with, they are your first best friends, I would say, and they will nourish you with extremely good energies. You know what, anybody who is feeling oppressed, or who is feeling depressed and has a chance to go out, go and speak to the trees outside, and you know what, you will feel really, really good when you go there. I would bet that anyone who is not fine, feeling weak, goes out a bit in the trees, not just the oxygen that you are getting from them, but also something that they emit that makes you alive again, that reduces your depression, that reduces your sad feelings, that reduces the negative thoughts that were there. Just try to walk amongst them and just try to hug them also. You will see such wonderful, wonderful friends they make. Yeah. So on that, I will stop now. You will say, oh, I hope you have not gone to sleep yet. Yes. So thank you very much for listening. And yeah, next time I will tell you a story. I don't know if I will be allowed to tell it or not. It is about the first miracle healing that happened through me with the help of the divine energy. And I will let you know that. I hope I get the permission from my husband to tell about it. So yes, that would be my next normally. Otherwise, I will see. There are so many things to tell you, and I will discuss that with you, okay? So just cross your fingers that he says yes, that I discuss it with you and I share it with you. So thank you very much. Bye bye. God bless. Take care. Bye.